Joining us right now for the second consecutive day. He's sort of been involved in a controversy over the last 24 hours. Boomer was like hammering him this morning, and that is the great Joe Benigno. Joe, how are you?
You know, I didn't think I'd be back here today, but nevertheless, a couple things. First of all, I could give a rat's tail about the Knicks in this stupid tournament.
I know.
That's number one. Number two, they're not going to sign Ohtani. I'm so down on the Mets, but that's for another day. But anyway, I appreciate you guys having me back on here today. I figured let me return to the scene of the crime. You know, I also told the coach that I would be back on today at 4 o'clock to straighten things out. So here I am. Look, the bottom line is this. You know, I shouldn't have said what I said. I totally misunderstood where he was coming from because it was clearly, and Ev, you even said this to me off the air yesterday, that you were thinking exactly what he was saying, that I've been for weeks saying, okay, enough of Zach, bench him. So when now I'm telling the coach, hey, you've got to put him back in there, he's saying, well, what do you mean you got to put him back in there now? And I, you know, I totally misread that. Even with that, you know, still, even with me thinking what I thought, I shouldn't have come out and said that and make it look like the coach doesn't like Wilson, which obviously, you know, is not the case.
Is he mad that you revealed the private text exchange? Was that a part of it?
Well, no, I think I think what they were upset about is the fact that, you know, I basically said the coach didn't like Zach.
Gotcha.
I think that's it. I don't think it has anything to do with the, you know, the other stuff, you know, my 6-prong program or, you know, offering to you know, script the first 15 plays. I don't think that had anything to do with it.
Joe, Evan, or maybe it was Sean, said you have a flip phone still. Is that true?
That is true, bro.
So you're texting to a flip phone?
Yes, I am.
So can I ask you a question?
You want to see my flip phone?
No, I don't. But why don't you just call Coach Saleh? Context would not be lost, right? It would be so easy to just pick up the phone, say, hey, Coach, you got 5 minutes? Let's have a conversation, right?
You know, look, I don't know where I stand right now in that regards, but
I'm talking about previously. Why didn't you just call him? Especially with a flip phone. You know how hard it is to text on a flip phone, Joe?
Let me tell you, let me just say this, Teak, on any phone, if I was texting, it would be hard, okay? So, I mean, we could have one of these newfangled smartphones or whatever they call them. I have no idea. But, yeah, no, look, I mean, I'm not going to call him unless, you know, he wants me to call him or he calls me. So that's basically it.
I know.
Texting is fine.
I know that because we've dealt with it for 2 hours. You have been a big topic of conversation around here.
Okay.
And as this may not surprise you,
Yes.
I, of course, have been your biggest defender.
Well, I appreciate that.
And the big critique is it's not even about the Zach thing. It's that he revealed the private conversation. Do you feel bad about that? Is that something that, like, you had to talk to the coach about?
Well, when you say revealed the private conversation, I mean, I don't quite understand what you mean.
That Saleh texted that to you and it wasn't supposed to be said to us.
You know, look, I think I can say this. I mean, we spoke for about 25 minutes last night, all right? Coach called me last night, and, you know, we discussed a lot of different things. And to me, it just comes down to the fact that, you know, I basically said that he didn't like Zach.
Gotcha.
And I don't think it was anything else but that.
Which
to
is
be very honest with you.
Which is interesting because the thing, like when you were on yesterday, the thing you probably could tell from my reaction, the thing I was most intrigued by was the comparing the other coaches and the backup quarterbacks.
Yeah.
So if that didn't bother him, then it was.
No, I don't think that did.
Interesting.
I mean, you know, I think, you know, I was gonna, you know, look. I mean, again, I don't know where I'm at today. I mean, we did. It sounded last night like we left it in good stead.
Right.
I will say that. Okay. And I was going to text him this morning and say, Coach, boy, Jake Browning looked pretty good last night. You know, I mean, I hate that. I don't want to go there, but I mean, I'm watching the game last night, and I actually had the Bengals at 8.5, so I was very happy about that. But, you know, once they got into the overtime, I knew I had it won. But nevertheless, he did. I mean, you know, say whatever you want. Zach Taylor doesn't have Joe Burrow, but God, Jake Browning's, and I was also going to say this. Jake Browning, I believe, is a free agent at the end of the year.
Yeah, right. Your backup quarterback matters.
Right, exactly.
The backup quarterback matters.
This guy to back up Rodgers next year.
All right. So, Joe, you not being a knucklehead notwithstanding,
right.
Evan had this philosophy or this thought, not a philosophy.
Knucklehead. You're being nice, Cole.
Dude, knucklehead is fine because you're not anything less than that, or more than that. And I agree with you because I'm a knucklehead as well sometimes, Joe.
I would use another word, but we can't.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Here's the thing. Evan positioned this, and I think he's full of it. But he says that
I'm full of it.
Meaning Evan, not you, Joe.
I get it, not you.
Evan's full of it,
right.
Saying that Robert Saleh uses the media or relationships with the media to get them to, I don't know, parrot his message.
Like
right?
him?
No, not like him, because I think if you know Robert Saleh, you're gonna like him. He's just
he's one of the nicest guys.
100%. It's not even about that.
No doubt about that.
He's trying to get you to parrot his message, like to say what he wants you to say to the media. I don't buy that. I don't think he's trying to do that. I think he just likes having conversations with people.
Yeah, I don't think that's it at all, Ev. I really don't. I don't think he's trying me to get his message out there. I mean, look, the bottom line is this: his record is 15-31. He knows that I have been through this, and honestly, I mean, I don't think he's going to get fired. I will say that. I think he's going to be here. He's going to get his year next year with Aaron Rodgers. I think that's going to happen. Hopefully, Rodgers stays healthy. We talked about a bunch of different things, and I don't want to, reveal all the different things anymore that we talked about last night. But I think I'll stop.
All right. So what are you doing? What are you doing for penance? Are you saying Hail Marys? Are you taking the whip to the back? Are you, getting away from alcohol? Like, what are you doing for penance?
Well, I haven't had a drink in about 11 years since your wedding. Ever.
Yes, my wedding's the last time he had a drink. Yeah,
I apologize. Well, congratulations. All right. How about no drugs then?
Well,
let's not get nuts here today. He's got to watch the Jets on Sunday. You're saying he can't do anything?
Let's not get delirious. No, I mean, believe me, there's a couple occasions where I have a very bad stomach. That's why. It has nothing to do with anything but that.
Yeah.
I got a stupid hernia in my stomach, whatever. You don't want to, who cares about that? But no, that's the reason I don't drink. Look, if the Jets ever win a Super Bowl, Teak, even get there, even just get to the Super Bowl, I will have a double Beefeater martini. My stomach be damned.
Nice.
Okay?
The suffering will be worth it.
I don't count on that happening anytime soon.
No, clearly not.
Now Aaron's going to be back next year.
Yeah, we'll believe it when we see it.
Come on.
You thought about texting about Browning last night. Will you text him at any point in the next few days? Or are you going to wait to see if he texts you?
I don't know. I mean, I think I'm just gonna lay off here for a little while. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. I mean, it looks like Zach's going to start this game. I mean, in spite of all, I see where they got rid of Boyle and they brought in who?
Brett Rippon, yeah.
Brett Rippon, who beat the Jets a couple years ago. Remember that? Was it with Denver? Wasn't it with Denver that he came in?
Yeah.
Looked like his. Is he related to Mark Rippon?
He is. It's his nephew.
Okay.
For some reason, I
he
think
looked like Mark Rippon in 1991 against the Jets.
Wasn't it a Thursday night against the Broncos in 2020?
Yeah, I think that's what it was. I think
that's when it was because I think the reason I remembered is because my son was born, Spence, within days of that, and I was stuck in a hospital during times of COVID.
Oh, got it.
Didn't you actually watch that game in the hospital?
I think I watched that game in the hospital. If you look up the date, if you find it, I'm sure it's around September 30th, 2020, right around those days.
October 1st.
October 1st, 2020. There you go.
Was?
The next day, my son's born. I'm watching Brett Rippon beat the Jets.
I didn't realize this. So your son was born when? September 30th?
September 30th, yep.
So you have two sons born in September.
That's correct. September 11 and September 30th, indeed.
That's interesting.
And that one was during COVID, so when I went to the hospital to be with my wife, I was not allowed to leave.
Wow.
And Chernoff loved that. You're going to miss 4 shows, really?
No, come on.
I was like, listen, sorry.
Chernoff being upset about that? Come on. Chernoff being upset about something? That's impossible.
So who do you want to have start on Sunday? You want Zach back?
Yeah, it's got to be him. I mean, look, say whatever you want. He gives them the best chance to win. Now, one thing I will say, and this is something I've been back and forth with the coach all year about. Can they let the guy do some things? Throw the ball down the field. I've screamed about designed runs for him over and over and over, But who knows? Who knows what they're going to do? I don't know what they're going to do this week. I actually feel I got to tell you this. This is insane, right? I actually feel pretty good about this game. Why do I?
Yeah, why?
And it's the first time in a while that I feel this way. Maybe it's because of all the insanity between the crap with me and then the stuff with Wilson not wanting to play and all of this. Maybe all this weird karma flying around. Maybe that's has something to do with it.
Well, it's funny. You are now, as the great Jet fan you are, but now you're a part of Jet lore. Like, if Robert Saleh gets fired, I'm sure it will be cited. And he was texting. I don't know if you'll get blamed for it. I think his record will do more of that.
Well,
he's 15-31.
Right.
But the text exchange will now be a part of the Robert Saleh legacy.
You think so?
I think so, yes. You think so, Tiki?
No, I don't think so, Joe. I think you'll be in the clear in a couple of days.
Yeah, Tiki, I hope you're right about
No, you will be.
By the way, let me just say this, too. The one thing I will say I did say this to the coach last night. I'm sure you won't get upset about it. Coach, you can't end the season on a 10-game losing streak. Okay?
Yeah.
I mean, you just,
Joe, don't you think he knows that?
Well, he does, but it's tough to make a case to come back when you end last year on a 6-game losing streak and this year on a 10-game.
Yes, that would be rough.
That's a good
You
point.
know what I mean?
By the way, did you think Boomer was too tough on you this morning? He seemed like so angry.
You know what? I had a couple people text me, a couple of my buddies early in the morning texted me that I'm getting killed on Boomer and Gio's show. So I said, look, you know what? Let me get my rear end on there and at least say my piece. I'm not going to get into my thoughts on it, to be very honest with you. They doing what they do, and I was ripe for the taking, and I got taken. We'll leave it at that.
I gotcha.
Nice.
Right for the taking, I got took.
It's like the strawberry on the vine.
There you
Just
go.
pluck it and crush it. Oh, delicious.
And the Mets, can they sign Ohtani? By the way? I am so ticked at that. Oh, the David Stearns, and when they're going to sign Alonso.
We got to let the offseason happen.
Mm-hmm.
I understand.
I'm confident this is happening. Come on.
About Ohtani?
Yeah.
No.
I have more
You're
hope.
not, right, Tiki? You know this isn't happening.
No, he's
right?
staying on the West Coast.
I have more hope than Tiki does, than you do, and that most Met fans do, but I wouldn't say I'm confident about it.
No.
I wouldn't say I'm confident, but I think they're in play.
Are they going to sign any kind of big bat in the offseason?
Depends how you define a big bat. And J.D. Martinez on a one-year deal, would that be a big enough bat for you?
Yes.
Probably not.
Yes.
No.
No.
Not
Yes.
really.
He says no.
Yes.
You know what, Joe,
Because
honestly?
it replaces the DH situation that you've had over the last 2 years.
Yeah, that's true.